What you see under those trees there is Houghton Lake, the site of our Trost Beat the Pro fishing contest, which is going to happen next weekend. But this weekend, under these trees here at the high school, we have bow hunters, lots of them. They're shooting the novelty shoots here on this location. We have the athletic field with the aerial exhibition with Ron LeClaire. We have a 3D silhouette shoot, trips to Porter Ranch. We have exhibits inside, all kinds of things. It's going to be an exciting weekend.
I just have this to say, I love the Rendezvous.
Oh, this is fun. It's a prelude, really, to the outdoor fair, which we're holding on the same location next weekend. Right here will be a muzzleloaders village. We'll have sporting dogs in the athletic field. We'll have shooting back there by the high school. Big bore handguns, all kinds of things. This is the place to be. Houghton Lake, these 2 weekends. We're going to tell you what you missed this past weekend and what's in store this coming weekend in just a moment.
Right.
Because it's Thursday night, time for Michigan Outdoors.
From the rugged shore and woodlands of the north, its history of copper mines and iron ore, the Great Lakes fisheries. To the farmlands of the southern counties, we'll look around again, and all that waits the sportsman in the state of Michigan.
Well, that Michigan bow hunter right there is loading up the clay targets in a game we call the skunk, invented by this fellow right here, Bill Childress. Bill, you've done a heck of a job. How many novelty shoots do you have here?
We have 8 individual shoots. We have 3 skunk machines. This is skunk number 3. Skunk number 2 down here, and the original skunk on the end down there.
Well, this is a popular one.
Yeah, the skunk is really super. It's gone over real good.
Yeah, we had that on the show last week showing how it worked and so on. The bionic duck down there, of course, the bionic duck is a duck made of sheet metal?
No, it's a half-inch steel. It's got a hole in the middle of it, and if you get your arrow through the hole, you did real good.
And if you don't,
you can see the arrows on the top. They didn't make it through.
Okay, those arrows there have been donated to the bionic duck. Well, let's walk on down here and look at a couple of these novelty shoots here that you have here. Bill, what is this? William Tell did it. Can you?
Yeah, this is William Tell. He supposedly shot an apple off of his son's head many years ago.
Well, William Tell there has kind of a bad complexion, I see.
As you can see, several people didn't do it today.
Okay, well, we have the skunk here. We have, of course, the charging wild boar, all kinds of things. So this has been pretty successful, hasn't it? It's added some fun to archery and bow hunting.
Oh yeah, the novelties have been real super. Everybody's had a lot of fun. We've had just a tremendous turnout of people today. I'm looking forward to having lots more tomorrow.
And of course next year, who knows what else you're going to invent by next year?
Next year, there could be several other things.
Okay.
You can't ever tell.
Well, here's an idea for you. For a type of novelty event. Ed Groves, I think, is over there under the tent with Ron LeClaire, and they're doing some aerial shooting. Just tuck that away in your mind to see what you could come up with in the future. Okay, now let's go over to Ed.
Well, Fred, I'm out here underneath the traditional archery tent where only longbows, recurves, the more traditional archers are out here. And as we've talked before, bow hunters are a little different breed. They want to use a little different kind of skill than a lot of hunters. Some of them go to compound, some of them go to a recurve bow like this one, and some of the, I guess they're the purest, the most traditional, go to nothing more than a straight stick with a string on it. The longbow archers, and of course when you're going to do that kind of archery, an association is going to be formed, and that's the National Bear Bow Association. Here's Tom Rogers, who's a representative out here. Tom, give me, what's the basic philosophy of your organization?
Okay, we're a group of bowmen that's dedicated to the traditional aspect in archery bow hunting.
Well, traditional, so then you're inferring that maybe it's going to be a little bit too modernized, huh?
Well, there's been a lot of highly technical and modern advancements in archery, and we feel that we're getting away from the true challenge that archery represented from the very first. And we'd like to get back to the purest form of bow hunting.
All right, well, just because it's the purest form of bow hunting, certainly doesn't mean that it's not, you can't do some pretty tricky shooting with a long bow, just a stick and a string. Right out here is Ron LeClaire, who we've seen on Michigan Outdoors a couple of times, and well, he's doing his fancy shooting again.
You need to, that's it, you need to throw it left.
Well, we're inside the main exhibition area of the high school here at Houghton Lake, looking at the state record typical bow-killed buck. This is the guy who got it right here. Gary Hall from Williamston.
Right.
You going to tell us exactly where you got that buck?
Sure.
No, don't.
I got him in a cornfield.
In a cornfield. Okay, that's what I thought the answer would be. This is the state record deer. That one was yours too, right here?
Yes. I took that in the same cornfield 2 years later, about 25 yards to the north before I shot this one.
Are there any more like that out there?
I hope so. I've been watching a couple nice ones this year.
Oh boy, I tell you. People are going to look up your address and start following you to find out where deer like this live. I'm sure they already have. But we have right here Glenn Williams from Commemorative Bucks of Michigan. We would have never known that this was the state record if it wasn't for Commemorative Bucks.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, well, Commemorative Bucks is here this weekend at the Bowhunters Rendezvous, measuring racks, putting some up here on for display.
Right.
Bowhunters really aren't that interested in the record racks except to look at.
Most bow hunters are just interested in shooting a deer. Gun hunters are the ones that are interested in shooting big racks.
Well, it's pretty tough just to get a deer with a bow.
Oh, without a doubt.
Quite an accomplishment. But next weekend, Glenn won't be here, but I think Joe Newmeyer or Paul Gillon will be here. We're offering a $100 gift certificate to the hunter. Any of you who brings in a rack, it doesn't have to be this big, but if you bring one in that is the highest score for the weekend in Commemorative Bucks, we'll get a $100 gift certificate.
Sounds good because there's a world's record in this state we're trying to find, all right?
In somebody's attic.
Right.
Or on a wall.
It's there. It is there.
Okay, well, we're going to look for that. And maybe if you have a big rack, you can bring it out here, maybe win a $100 gift certificate. Well, you have a lot of bucks here, Glenn. A lot of people have brought theirs through. Gary, we're going to have you on the show to talk a little bit about technique this fall.
Okay.
Will you do it?
Just give us a call.
Okay, we'll do that. Gary Hall, he won the state record with the bow hunting. Come on, guys, over here. I have a couple more. Brad Bruce is going to be here next weekend, or this coming weekend, I should say, for the outdoor fair. Now, Brad, you're a taxidermist.
Yes, sir.
And with Wildlife Taxidermy Art in Tecumseh.
Right.
You mounted this buck right here.
Right,
Now, that is a nice buck, and it's an interesting story behind it. Mr. Rauschert. Yes, sir. You came in with a story, and you told me that this buck was your buck, taken from Bay County. You worded everything very carefully. Well, I had to. It is your buck, right? And it was from Bay County, right? But it's from a tame deer. It's a drop set of horns. A drop set of horns. Now, this is an interesting aspect of taxidermy and antler. How did this score, Commemorative Bucks? I believe it was 168 and 5/8. Where does that put it? I couldn't tell you. Well, it doesn't matter because these antlers fell off of a deer that was in a pen. But that's a huge set of antlers, and you can claim that that is your buck, right? Brad, just a second here. Let me scoot over here. We're going to be here. We're going to have a number of taxidermists with us. Brad scored very well in our taxidermy exhibition this past February at the Boat and Fishing Show in Detroit, and he's going to be here with a display. Tom Wolf, the Fish Taxidermist of the Year. But this set of antlers here, Ray brought to you, and you had to mount them on a cape, but this isn't really, this face does not belong to these antlers.
Basically, that's right, Fred. Mike brought the horns in and said, hey, I want to make a deer head out of it. We went out and got a cape and literally put the deer together for him, okay? The horns are fiberglass back together and a lot of technical stuff, but it's a deer head.
That's why you're Wildlife Taxidermy Art.
Well, we like to think so. Thank you.
You can do things like that with deer. Well, Mike, that is a great deer, and I'm glad you brought it because a lot of people like to see racks like this, so people can get a look at it. And it's really weird that you walk around and everybody goes, where'd you get that? You know, I ain't got the heart to tell them. You hedged on me even a little bit. But this is the type of thing you're going to see this coming weekend at the Outdoor Fair. Another display of racks, the $100 gift certificate. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think now we're going to move over to Ed, who's back in the exhibit area.
I think one of the areas that I enjoy the most is the exhibit area. I guess it's because you can find just about everything you need under one roof. For instance, like the latest in compound archery, the bows here, but a bunch of different kinds of booths, specialized booths. Here in back of me, we've got Chuck Denault's booth. He was our wildlife artist in the deer category this year. Anderson Archery, largest outlet of archery equipment, and of course there's a famous face, Fred Bear, and what he's been doing at the clinic is signing autographs, signing people's books, and of course, signing their bear bows. He's in the bear archery booth. We're real happy to have him here. Now, a booth just ahead is the one I think is is as interesting as any booth here, and that's one that sells just about everything in one booth. Camo, scents, knives, camo paint, gloves, all under one roof. Of course, here you can find all sorts of demonstrations. We've got the Ludge tree stand of Grand Ludge, the latest in tree stand type people. We've got Will Schultz. We saw him last week on Michigan Outdoors demonstrating his tree spider. And I guess I should say that in this exhibit area next week at the outdoor fair, you'll be able to find shooting sports people, fishing people, and of course archery people. Again, all under one roof at the outdoor fair. I'd say all in all, the Rendezvous has just been an excellent turnout, an excellent event. Fred, what do you think about it?
Surprise guest just showed up here at the Rendezvous. He doesn't even know we're coming in with the cameras, but this is none other than Mr. Ted Nugent. Yeah,
This is the Rendezvous, isn't it?
You bet. All right. Hey, I'm glad to see you up here.
Well, you know, I got out of the recording session. I figured I'd come up and see if my buddies were up in the woods up here, you know.
Well, hey.
My real buddies are really good. They're ready to
Okay.
see. This is Toad.
Hi.
And this is Sasha here.
Sasha, come on around here.
I was about to say these are tomorrow's killers, but they've already started.
Oh, that's
Sasha
great.
got her buck last year.
I know it.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, how you been, Toad?
Good.
You been doing some fishing this summer?
Yeah.
Your dad said he was going to take you. Where are you coming from right now?
We was over in the west part of the state doing some fishing and some scouting. We checked our blinds last night, didn't we, kids, huh? Yeah.
Well, that sounds good. Well, Fred Bear's up here waiting.
Yeah, I know. He gave me a call. And I only check my answering service every other week, so
Yeah.
I got his message, so I figured I'd come up and see how
Okay.
he's doing, yeah.
Hey, you know, we're going to have to do a recipe on the show this fall.
Sure.
We'll come down and cook some pheasant.
We cooked up, we had a barbecue with the sheriff and his family last night over in Lake County, and we had buffalo and bear from a spring hunt, and antelope, mule deer, and whitetail, so we got to fill the freezer back up, you know.
Sounds good.
Sure.
Hey, what are you doing next weekend?
Next weekend?
You going to be drifting by, maybe?
Could be.
Outdoor fair?
I'm up in this neck of the woods for a little while.
He might be at the outdoor fair next weekend, but I know you're not going to commit yourself. He just might be strolling through, but this is Ted Nugent.
All right. Good to see you, Fred.
Good to see you.
All right.
Okay. Now I want to talk a little bit about what we're going to have here next weekend. This weekend, of course, we have the Wild Turkey Federation with a shoot. They have a turkey shoot. What's your name?
Bob Summers from Harrison.
From here?
Jim Wilde from Houghton Lake.
Okay, you guys, go ahead. Stand up there and you do the turkey shoot. We're going to watch you. I hope this television doesn't put any pressure on your technique. I'll talk with Barry Loper here about the rules and what they're doing. They're shooting at the turkey target that is marked in different areas.
Right. The top score is 60 points. We've only had one contestant so far today that has been able to get the top score, so it's very difficult to get that.
What do they win?
Well, we give away 6 turkeys each day. Yesterday we gave away 6 plus 6 other prizes. Today we'll be giving away 6 frozen turkeys again.
Okay, and you can do that this coming weekend for the outdoor fair. Turkey Federation will be here, so be sure to bring your bow, and you'll be able to maybe win a turkey.
Certainly. We'll be here again next week and be happy to do it.
And talk to the Turkey Federation about their organization. Another thing you're going to be able to do, there's all types of shooting sports we're going to have up behind the elementary school, including Blue Skeen, who's the national slingshot champ. He'll be able to give you lessons. You don't have to bring your slingshot. He'll provide them. And, I learned from him last year at our Small Game Hunters workshop, and this is what it's like to have a lesson from Blue Skeen.
The first thing that you have to do is you have to take up a position similar to what an archer does. Standing 90 degrees, what to shoot at.
Okay.
I anchor a dip under my cheek and aim with my left eye. Okay, don't cut that eye.
What am I aiming? What am I going to be aiming?
Use this part right here of the slingshot.
You can have a lesson from the champ, Blue Skeen, and that's free. But if you want to pay 50 cents or $1, you can try all kinds of different shooting sports. For example, muzzleloading. Shoot a muzzleloader rifle if you've never tried it before.
Yeah. This one, the back trigger section. For a thing that big? Front trigger. Do you think it was accurate in
Shoot at the second.
Gets it in
over there.
You do it again.
They're all shut up.
He paid for it.
A minute half over.
Yeah.
Now aim. Yeah.
Do I have to look down there?
Yeah, you look right through there, right down through there.
Okay, I pull this one and it sets it, okay?
Right. Now the hair trigger.
Whoa! Did I hit
No, you hit the ground back there. How'd you like it? Very good. We're also going to have handgun silhouette shooting, big bore handguns and 22s, and if you've never tried that, you can pay 50 cents or $1 and take a couple shots.
All right. Okay. Right there. Keep that same hold. Squeeze the trigger. Okay.
How did you do?
I did great.
So is this your first time shooting?
Yes. I've never even held onto a gun.
Well, what's your score so far?
I got 4 out of 5.
Wow.
Okay.
You kind of like this sport, do you?
Yeah, it's fun.
Maybe you've never shot a shotgun at a clay target. We'll have that here for you to try. And we'll also have some products like Magnaport. You know, when you shoot a shotgun, there's a certain amount of muzzle lift. Well, with the Magnaport process, which they claim reduces muzzle lift, they'll have a test right here. You'll be able to see that it works. So we're going to have all kinds of products in the shooting sports here. Another thing we have is we're going to have a lot of sporting dogs. Look at this. What could be cuter than a little kid and a puppy? You going to pick it up? Look at this. What's your name?
Trish.
Trish Henning?
Yeah.
Okay. How you like that little puppy? You want to take it home with you?
No.
You don't? Folks wouldn't let you, huh? Well, we're going to have some... Oh, geez, look at these little things. Get out of there.
That's the retriever.
That's the retriever. These are golden retrievers. Your name?
Douglas Tyron.
Doug, okay, you're from Higgins Lake, I happen to know.
Correct.
You just came here and set up a booth. Well, not really a booth. You had some puppies to sell.
That's true. Usually I sell them in the newspaper, but we forgot the ad this week, and I've been out of town for a month, so...
Well, tell you what, it makes a good addition here at the Rendezvous and to the outdoor fair, and I'd like to invite any of you up in the area, or if you want to bring your puppies and dogs, join us out here at the athletic field. You're going to be back with these pups?
I'd sure like to.
Well, hey.
I'd sure like to. They're going fast, though.
They're going fast.
They're
Well, come
hot
up,
dogs.
Yeah, come up and see the dogs and the puppies. Really cute, and that's another addition here to the outdoor fair. Well, you see more types of water sports up here at Houghton Lake. Look at that thing. These people are really having a ball. Little kids in their rafts and pontoon boats and the whole works.
Just having a good time.
Yeah, well, it's a great place. This lake, by the way, is just a couple hundred yards across from the high school here, across M55, the fishing, the swimming. Looking at the rundown of some of the other things we're going to have this coming weekend, a lot of artists and artwork are going to be there, artists of all types. Of course, we think of art, we talk about our art winners, our Michigan Outdoors Artist of the Year. Susan Segrist will be here.
Grandpa's Little Angler.
Right, that's a cute print. Dave Bowman and his dogs and pups.
That's right. We're going to have dogs here, too.
Right, the puppies will be here, many types of retrievers and pointers and setters. We have Rob Gwynn, I think, is going to be able to make it on Saturday.
He's our Michigan Outdoors Artist of the Year.
That's right, with his grouse print, the ruffed grouse. Other artists that we'll have here, of course, we don't want to forget our taxidermists.
Right. Oh, yeah. We've got Gene Roll, who had a beautiful deer head, and also those fine squirrels, mammals.
That's right. Gene Roll is our Michigan Outdoors Mammal Taxidermist of the Year, and Tom Wolf. We visited Tom's studio for his fish painting.
Yeah, right. He was painting that steelhead. Probably, the technique he uses on steelhead, when you watch him spray that nice and slow, he puts that base paint on. A beautiful artist.
Well, he fishes for those fish, too, and that makes all the difference, I think, in a taxidermist.
Right. We generally find the people up here at the outdoor fair are in love with the sport and the fish and the animals that they hunt for or fish for.
Exactly.
Or paint.
That's why we're here.
That's right. That's why we're here, too. You know what I like, though? I like the artwork and the painting, and even Nick Jakubiak.
Yeah, the carver, the bluegill. He was on our show just a few weeks ago with the carving of that bluegill, and also when he carved everything that you see there, the sticks, the lily pads on top, all made out of wood, carved.
Okay. And he said he'd have a trout done also.
Yeah, right.
We have those guys, all those artists, but you know, the kind of art that is one of my favorite is the art that Kay Ritchie does.
The cooking.
The cooking, that's right.
Yeah.
Kay will be here at the high school. On Saturday, she will be using a microwave. And she has all kinds of recipes, a recipe book, Savor the Wild. She'll be autographing copies. But on Saturday, she's going to be cooking salmon in a microwave. All kinds of tips. You can come up.
I've got to see that. I've got to see that.
She says it's the most popular. She gets a lot of questions about it. On Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock.
We're going to be field dressing and butchering a deer.
That's right here at the high school. And when we get the venison from that on Sunday, Kay will be cooking it.
And I will be eating. I'll be right there, yeah.
If we could talk them out of a loin, we could have a real feast. I like to take the loin and just cut it very, very thin and just saute it for about a minute in butter. And just super.
Well, that would be something that people coming up to the outdoor fair could maybe get a taste of venison loin. Cooked by Kay Ritchie. Boy, you couldn't beat that. Put your money on me, Fred, because I'm going to be first in line. No doubt about it. I'll be right behind you, Bob. There's going to be a lot of people there who are going to want to taste some of Kay Ritchie's the salmon she cooks on Saturday and the venison she cooks on Sunday, and you're invited to join in on that and ask her questions. She's a wealth of information when it comes to fish and wild game cooking. She's the best, too. Oh, she really is. So that's pretty much of a rundown on the outdoor fair, the things that are coming up. Okay, now I do want to say something about our Beat the Pro contest, but we found a fellow over here. Come on over here. We don't know who he is, but we do know he has a nice stringer of fish. I guess so. A second, Ed. What is your name?
Rick.
Zenda.
Rick Zenda.
From where?
I'm from St. Clair Shores.
Oh, geez, you've been up here this weekend doing some fishing.
Oh, yeah.
How long?
Tried for walleye, but they weren't biting all too well. And we caught a couple bass, small ones, and a few small pike.
That's just barely legal.
He's legal, just barely legal, but...
These panfish.
The panfish are hitting real well.
Boy, I'll say. How long did it take you to catch them?
About an hour and a half.
Well, how deep of water?
They're in about 9 feet of water. 9 feet right now.
Using what? Worms?
Well, they're biting on minnows.
Huh.
Most of the people say that they bite better on leech, but I think they bite better on the minnows.
Well, you ought to know.
Yeah.
And you have quite a string of those.
There were a few other boats around, but I didn't see anybody getting it. That's a bluegill.
That's a nice bluegill. And, of course, we have rock bass.
That rock bass there probably weighs a little over a pound, almost a pound.
That's a nice one.
And a quarter. There's a couple of bigger ones.
Yeah, sunfish.
And
terrific.
No big perch right now, but we're hoping.
Well, what do you think about Houghton Lake for a fishing lake?
This is one of the best lakes. No, this is one of the best fishing lakes there.
Well, I want to tell you something. We are running next weekend with our outdoor fair. You heard about that?
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Well, we're going to fill you in. You have to watch this show on Thursday.
Okay.
We're going to fill you in. But here, Ed Garner, come here. We're going to talk to you about this contest we're having. Ed's Spinnerbait Groves is going to use spinnerbaits fishing for bass next Friday for 6 hours. Bob Jaws Garner here is going to be using what technique for?
I'm going to be using spinnerbaits and big live creek chubs.
Okay, and he's going to fish for northern pike for 6 hours. I'm going to go out and fish for walleye for 6 hours.
We're going to contest.
Yeah,
you guys are in a contest.
That's right. This is the Stroh's Beat the Pro fishing contest. We're going to post the fish that we catch on Friday, and if you go out and catch one of those species that beats one of our fish, and you're going to be in contention for a $100 savings bond.
Oh, that sounds good. I could always use the money.
Okay. Not only that, but if you bring a fish of any kind up to be weighed in, of any species, you'll get a free spool of tri-lune line for the first 200 people.
That sounds good.
Okay, well, that's going to be our Stroh Beat the Pro fishing contest coming up this weekend. We just got a good little forecast from you, I think, on how the fishing is going to be.
I think the fishing is going to be good. Real good.
I certainly hope so. That's a report from the Bowhunters Rendezvous. We're looking forward to the Michigan Outdoors Fair this weekend, and I certainly hope you'll be there. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, our 50 caliber.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. On Sunday.
On Sunday. Bruce MacArthur will be there on Sunday only with his 50 caliber, largest bolt action rifle in the world. For $3 he's going to charge for that big shell, and you can shoot it if you want. And here's what that's going to be like. Whoa! How was it?
It didn't hurt. It just
Pushes.
Yeah, pushes back. That's a headphone knocker off.
How'd you like it? Want to do it again? Okay. I hope it doesn't hurt. That wasn't so bad. About knocked my ear protection off. Wow, that's great.
Hey, you hit the bowling pin.
I did? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was aiming at the ram.